Brain scientists tell us that we humans have a collective tendency to be blind to risks that can threaten whole economies, even civilizations. And we sort of saw this with the financial crisis in 2008. But I believe we also have to worry a lot about the energy industry. And in my new book, The Energy of Nations, Risk Blindness and the Road to Renaissance, I discuss 4 big systemic risks that I think big energy is taking with our future. The first, of course, is climate change. That's a pretty obvious one. We're told by the vast majority of the world's climate scientists that we can only burn a small fraction of conventional reserves of fossil fuels, yet big energy wants us to throw a whole load of unconventional reserves on top of the fire as well. And related to that, we're inflating a bubble in the capital markets where big energy is allowed to account reserves of fossil fuels as though they're assets at zero risk of being devalued, which of course they're not because of climate policy making. This bubble can burst on us if we're not careful. Third, we have to worry about the narrative that tells us that shale is a big good news story. It's certainly done a lot to improve the American economy in the short term, but there are good reasons to believe that this whole shale gas and shale oil narrative of the energy industry is at best yet another bubble, but also potentially even a Ponzi scheme that can collapse like a house of cards. I discuss this in the book. Fourthly, the narrative that we have enough oil to keep meeting demand way into the future, even if demand grows, is actually the dominant view because the energy industry pushes it so hard. I'm in the minority that just doesn't believe that, in the same way that people questioned the narrative about complex derivatives in the run-up to the financial crisis. So I think, given all this blindness to risk that I've seen close to, often behind closed doors, as I describe in the book, I'm afraid that the chances are we're going to head for a collapse of some sort within the next few years. This is my analysis. I hope I'm wrong. The good news, however, is that that will present opportunities as well as dangers. Opportunities to rebuild, the road to Renaissance, as I call it. If we make the right choices under the gun in the crisis environment that will be imposed on us by the failings of the big energy companies, then we have a chance to fashion a much more sustainable, much safer society, and that will be a very big prize. So I encourage you to read this book. I'd love it if you would, because I think that on the massive balance of probabilities, the dramas it describes will be the things that will shape most of our lives going forward. I hope I'm wrong, but this is what I think, and you can buy this book as of today, the 26th of September, 2013. Thank you for listening.